Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my home. My name is Becky, and I am so excited that you're here today. Well, if you can't tell from behind me, we are decorating the house for fall. It is so much fun. I love doing it. I have to say, this is the latest start that I've gotten to decorating for fall in quite a while. It's the first week of September, and if I'm not too awfully wrong, I think I usually start like the last week of August. So I don't know why, but I do feel a little scrambled, like I'm behind, and I'm not. I'm really not. It's only today, the second day of September, so fall doesn't actually officially occur until a couple more weeks. But I do like to decorate for Halloween, and I like to decorate big for Halloween, so I usually like to get 6 weeks in of Halloween decor. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to swing that this year. I'm gonna do the best that I can. So this morning I am gonna finish up, well, let me rephrase that. This morning we're going to get started on the living room. I have an appointment I have to be at around 11 o'clock. So we're gonna do a little bit, go to the appointment, and then come back and hopefully finish this living room up. We started the living room by decorating the fireplace and the mantle, so that's all done. That's the hard part-ish. So we've got a few more spots that we need to put our hands on in there. And then I think the next video will probably be moving over to the hutch and maybe putting up my little pencil tree. So I'm excited to do that. But I've got a mess behind me. I really need to get all this stuff put up. And, you know, I told everybody that I wanted to take my time and not stress. And that's so much easier said than done. But before we get started, I want to show you a little picture, a bragging moment, an Auntie Becky bragging moment. My little nephew, Samuel, you have all met him. He is a little spitfire. He got baptized this weekend, and this picture that I happened to catch with my phone has absolutely, I just sit there and look at it and cry, and I want to share it with you, so I'm going to show you that. And we went down to the river. Haven't been to the river for a good old-fashioned baptism in a while, and I love it. That river has baptized a many member of my family, including myself and David, and I just love that old river, and it just makes me want to cry just talking about it. But congratulations to my sweet little boy Samuel for getting baptized. All right, so I've already decorated that triangle shelf that's in my living room. I did it just one night because I wanted to decorate it where the light wasn't coming in and messing up all the views and everything. So I did it one night in my pajamas, and I'm gonna let you see that first, and then I'm gonna pop in and we're gonna do some final touches to it. So here is the before shot of my shelf. You may notice that my home is decorated with fall colors year round. They're the colors of my soul. I love them, and I don't know that I would ever have any other colors in my home, but this is what I look at on a daily basis, and I love it. So the first thing that I wanted to do, I got these little squirrels last year at the Dollar General. I paid $5 for them, and I love them. They are the cutest little things, but they were just a little too light for my liking, so I just took some gel stain and went over them just to darken them up just a little bit. I didn't want to lose the detail of the squirrels because they're kind of almost carved looking, so I just did as light as possible with the gel stain, and then I came back with a paper towel and I just wiped over them to get all the excess stain off of there. But I didn't want to use like heavy duty stain out of the garage because I felt like that might have been a little bit overkill for what I wanted. So I chose this small bottle that it comes right out of the Hobby Lobby paint section. You know, when you get the little acrylic paints to do your crafts with, same section, just gel stain instead of paint. So I'm taking everything down. Well, we're going to leave a few little pieces that we're going to use to decorate with, some base pieces, but most of everything that was up there is going to come down. I got these flowers the other day at a pottery type store, you know, where you go and you buy all the pieces to make these beautiful elaborate wreaths that people sell and make. My sister makes them and sells them. So I took her last Sunday, and she has the time of her life in there, so it's hard to get her out, but she loves it. So while I was there, I picked up a couple goodies actually. Two of which I'm going to share with you later in my part 2 of my Halloween haul. And then I got these little flowers, so I thought they were so pretty, and I think I can also use them for Halloween. That little acorn also came from Hobby Lobby, it came from Dollar General a couple of years ago. It is absolutely adorable, and I love using it. I love these little squirrels. I've never actually put them together as a pair, but I kind of like the way it looks. I started with this one doily, but I came back later because I have another one that's a little less white, vibrant white, and I changed it out. And I also ended up coming back and taking that other doily that's sitting on that wooden box off because I felt like it was just a little too bright white for the look that I was going for. So in the next clip you'll see that it's actually gone, but I didn't film me taking it down. Well, not this clip, but the next clip. It's gonna be gone in a little bit. That's all I know. So we're gonna keep one thing, I think, from this little display. We're going to keep that little riser, and everything else is going to go. And we're going to bring in those pumpkins that I got from Ross this past, I guess, I don't know when I shared my haul from that, but I thought they were so cute. One was, I think, $12.99, and one was, I believe, $6.99. Now, looking back on the footage and looking at it now from sitting in my living room and kind of staring at it for a few days, I might go back and add some of that gel stain to the grooves in those pumpkins because the color of orange is just a little bit off from all the other oranges in my displays. So don't be surprised when you come back for the full house tour if they are just a little bit different. But this little display here, I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. I just wanted to add some florals and just make it fall looking. So I kept that plate up there. I actually come back later and add that owl back in because I felt like it still needed something in the background. I wasn't intending on doing that, but I think it needed it. So I was thinking about doing this for this video and maybe for future videos. I'm using a lot of different florals and I mix them up and I just make my own creations. But all the florals that I use are pretty easily accessible at the Hobby Lobby or something similar. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an individual picture of each of the florals that I use when I put them on the display and put it up in the corner. So if you're interested to replicate this look, you'll kind of have a better idea of what I was using. Nothing that I use is expensive or hard to find or anything like that. I also will take some of these stems that I do break them up into smaller bundles to make them last longer. So I'll let you know if I do that as well. And here I come in with that owl. It would have been so much simpler had I just left it there and decorated around it, but I had to do things the hard way because that's just how I am. But it needed something back there, so I think that was as good a piece as any because, like I said, and I think it was my last video, I don't have a whole lot of fall tchotchkes and knickknacks. Honestly, I don't buy a lot of fall because I feel like the money that I spend on the fall decor I could be using this to buy new Halloween decor, and I would much rather have new Halloween decor than fall. That's just my preference, guys. I'm sorry. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but that's just what I love. I'm sorry. I would buy Halloween over fall any day of the week. So now I'm going to put one of my glass pumpkins down here at the bottom, just simple, easy. I wanted some orange down there and it served the purpose. I initially thought about putting it up on top of my record player and keeping those pictures there, but in the end I liked it better over on the side. I also come in a little bit and I'm going to add some more greenery in to just add just a little bit more of a ta-da to the shelf. I also come in and add something to the top of that record player, because when I look back at the footage, I realized that it did need just a little something else. And I realize you can't really see that owl back there on that shelf, that third shelf down. But it's dark in here. It's nighttime when I'm filming this. It's hard to see anything. I can see it from where I'm sitting in my home, so I guess that's all that matters. So here's just an overall view on how everything looks, but like I said, we're going to come in just a little while, and we're going to add a few more sprigs of greenery in there. So Summer bought me this blanket. I love it. It has not had a minute to sit on that chair because we have been using it. So I'm just switching things out and putting it on the back of the chair because I think it needs to be showcased because it's so beautiful. I have a little throw pillow that I threw up there just to see how it looked, but I mean, I just didn't love it, so I just went without a pillow. I'm gonna tell you, when I go into Home Goods and Home Sense, those fall pillows are so beautiful. I love them, and I would love to have some of those beautiful fall pillows, but number one, I am out of my buying pillows era. I am in my pillowcase era right now because the storing process is so much easier. I have a lot of pillows out in my shed, and I would much rather be storing pillowcases than those big pillows because I have to put them in trash bags. So I decided that I was not going to buy. I resisted yet again not to buy new pillows, and we're going to use the ones that we have. Now, Kim bought me these orange ones several years ago. Honestly, Kim bought these for me my very first year on YouTube. It was the very first gift that anyone had ever sent to me, and I love these pillows. I bring them out every fall. They match perfectly in my home, and I will probably always use them. So right now I'm just trying to decide if I should keep the white ones or the brown ones. Those brown ones are the same pillows that I've always owned. I just bought new cases for them. I got them off of Amazon. I ended up preferring the orange and the brown over the orange and the white. So luckily this morning the sun's not shining in this front window. It's still only 8 o'clock, so it'll be shining through in a minute. But right now is a good time to do it, and we're going to just add a little bit of extra to our display. So I just had this little sprig of greenery and then this little sprig of fall floral that I got from Hobby Lobby. It came in a bigger bundle and I just broke it up. But we're just going to make it just a little more special and add in some greenery here around our squirrels. And I think it just adds one more little touch to it. I'm going to do the same thing around these pumpkins. I've got one big sprig of greenery that I'm going to put here. I've got it kind of bent, so I'm going to put that there. And then tuck in some of the more yellow tone florals around here and here. Let me try to hide that stem a little bit. There we go. That's cute. And then for our bottom pumpkin, I did the same thing. The only other thing that I added to this bottom shelf is I added this little grateful sign, just because I felt like something needed to be here above my record player. I like to keep my record player closed so that the dust doesn't take over and ruin everything. Okay, so I think that is a gracious plenty for our beautiful shelf. So we got the chair decorated earlier in our pajamas. We got the couch decorated in our pajamas. So the next thing we need to look at is the coffee table, and I need to just gather a few things. Normally what I do is pull out my dough bowl. I may do the same thing this time. Last year I kept this little tray here. Not sure. We're gonna pull out a few things from our big old pile of fun over there and see what we can come up with for this coffee table. All right, so I pulled out my dough bowl and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at all the little florals sitting on the table, and I'm thinking, okay, well I've done this every single year since I started YouTube, and maybe I should, even before, maybe I should do something just a little bit different this time. So I was thinking, I have this beautiful floral piece, centerpiece. I usually put this on my table, and I love it on my table, but if we're gonna start changing things up a little bit, maybe we can sacrifice this and put it on the coffee table right here. The only thing is let me turn you around a little bit. So if you're looking at the living room from the kitchen, this is gonna be sitting on the coffee table, and this is gonna be in the background. I don't like all of this white, no white up here, no orange in here. So I think what I want to do is just add some orange in here so that this flows with that. So let's do a little rearranging on this centerpiece. So I have 2 stacks of orange florals that may work for this. I have these little leaves, and then I have these little silver dollar type picks, and I think these might be better, but if I do choose these are going to come back out of the centerpiece. They're not going to be able to stay in there because I really do use these to decorate for Halloween, so I need these. These are my favorite little picks, and I stick them everywhere, and so we're just going to borrow them if this is the one that we choose. These I don't really care about because I could take these or leave them, but these are my favorites. So I'm going to play around with this a little bit and see which one is going to work better. This little basket has been my go-to centerpiece for so many years. I love how it looks in the center of my table, and had I not needed something different to go on my coffee table, I would probably still use it. But I'm going to sacrifice it this year. We're going to save all of these white flowers and put them back if we decide to change our minds later in this process. But I really think it's cute on the coffee table because it's something different to look at. But now I have the dilemma that I don't quite know what I'm going to put on my dining room table. So that's going to be for us to decide shortly. Now I may bring my tier tray back out. That's possible. I have not used my tier tray for fall in a really long time, so I don't really have a plan on what to put on it. We may have to figure some things out. I do have all of those owls. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, the ones that I took down off of the tier tray to begin with. So I do have all of those. We can definitely decorate with those. Or we may come up with a whole new centerpiece for the center of the table. I don't know. I love doing floral work. So that's very possible that we may end up doing that. And you know I am always up for a trip to the Hobby Lobby to buy some more floral stems. I will never say no to that. Okay, I know the lighting is not the best in here, but here is what I did. We're just going to switch this out and put that there. And let's look at it from the other side. Okay, yeah, so looking in from this side, you've got all the orange, and the white's not standing out, so this was a better option for sure, and quick, especially given the time that I have today. I might have too many leaves in there. I may have to pull some of them out, but that's okay. All right, next place we're gonna go is over here. I'm not gonna take down all of this just yet. That probably won't come down until closer to Christmas, but we're gonna focus on this top shelf here and just add just a little touch of fall to our little vignette. My doggone Food Lion shopper picked the wrong type of crackers. I usually get the peanut butter ones. That's my breakfast. And not only did he pick the wrong ones, which is fine. I love this little kid. He's very sweet. I'm not complaining. But he got the jumbo pack. So I have to eat all of those cheese crackers. So yeah, okay. All right, so I've got a few things pulled together for this spot. This is gonna be very simple. We're not going crazy over here. We're just gonna change some of those flowers out and add a couple of pumpkins. All right, I got my cleaning stuff. I don't know what it is about this Mrs. Meyer's fall scent line that she has. This is apple cider, and I also love the acorn. But it just makes me the happiest. There's just something about the scent. They have a couple Christmas scents too. I like the peppermint, but these I will use all year long because they make me feel so nostalgic, I guess, for my favorite time of year. So I'm just going to wipe this down real quick. I'm going to take everything off other than a couple things that I know I'm keeping. I know I said that I wanted to change things up, but this is going to probably be the same as last year just because it's just a unnoticed area. I don't want to spend a lot of time here. Maybe we'll come back later and make it a little different, but right now I think we're just going to stay with the old standby that I always put up here, which is just change out those flowers and add some pumpkins. Now, I have to admit, of all the areas in my house so far, now I know I'm still decorating. I still have lots more spaces to decorate. But this one, to be as simple as it was and easy to put together, it really turned out to have a big wow factor to it. I don't know if it was the pumpkins that I used, because I have some glass pumpkins, amber pumpkins, and they kind of go with the amber glass that I have below the shelf. I don't know if it was that or if it was the addition of the florals that I added. I can't tell you, but it was just a really pretty little vignette and as simple as can be to put together. I did not put a lot of effort in it at all, and I was surprised with how well it turned out. So what I did is I kept my lamp, I kept my vase, and I kept my books up there. I did leave those little pitberry seed sticks in there in the vase. I'm going to come in and I'm going to add these little silver dollar, I can't remember what they're called. I called it by the right name the other day, but I got those for $1 a piece at Pop Shelf a few years ago. I bought 4 of them, and I have ever since only put them in this vase because they look so pretty in there. I don't know that I'll ever put them anywhere else in my home. This is one of my amber glass vase pumpkins that I have. I'm just noticing here that it takes batteries, so I'm making a mental note to come back later and put some batteries in there and see if we can't get that girl lit up. And then I have one more pumpkin that I'm going to add here shortly. It's just a darker amber color, and I like to mix the colors together of the glass. I just think it looks so much prettier than having everything to be the same and to match. I was checking to see if the bottom might come out in the bottom of this one so I could add some twinkle lights later, especially if I was going to get this one lit up. So I'm coming in with some batteries with the highest of hopes, but unfortunately it did not work. Now, if I want it to light up badly enough, I'll just take that bottom part off and I'll slide some fairy lights in there myself and just do it like that. But this pumpkin unfortunately has seen its last day of lighting up on its own. That's how it looks right now, just plain, and I like this. I don't have a problem with this, but the extra person in me wants me to add some more leaves. So that's what I'm going to do. I tried to add some lights in here, or excuse me, some batteries, because there were lights inside, but evidently it doesn't work anymore because I couldn't get it to turn on. So I'm just going to add some of these brown leaves here just for something to go at the bottom. That one I've got kind of turned so it loops onto that little stand. And then I've got this one little small fall pick. We're just going to stick one in there. Right here. And then these are the picks that I keep popping up with, the ones I told you that I got from Hobby Lobby. See if you can see them. They came in a bundle, a larger bundle, like this big, and they were $1.99 with 40% off. And I've just been cutting them up and using them as just little filler pieces. So they're kind of going a long way. I ended up buying 12 of them, so I may have overcommitted, but we have plenty if we need them, and if we don't, well, then we won't use them. But there you go. That's what it looks like. Let me give you a close-up. This is what it looks like close up. And I don't think I necessarily need to reinvent the wheel in every single section of the house, you know, because this is precious. Why do I need to change this when I absolutely love it? And I'm pretty sure I done this the exact same way last year. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Either way, this spot is done. So this is what we have left is here. Now, you know how much I love this shelf. Actually, some of my flowers are falling down up there. I need to get up there and fix them. You know how much I love this shelf. You know how much I love to decorate it. But how I normally decorate it is like this. So, do I need to go just as elaborate over here? Probably so. And I don't mind doing that. But should I take down everything up there and start from scratch? Or should I just leave all of my bottles up there and decorate around them? That is the question. I usually put that picture that I put, here up there, but I don't have that right now. And I could kind of emulate the same look with another owl up there. I could do that. So I need to think about this for a minute, and then I will be back to you with a plan. I'm not gonna put anything over on this table because David uses every square inch of that table, so it's just gonna be in his way. So I'm not even gonna go over there. We're just gonna do this, and then we're gonna be finished with this living room. Now, I know I'm moving very fast here, but what I'm doing is I'm taking a quick photo of the shelf, so when everything is over after Christmas, I can come in and I can put everything back. I decided that I'm going to take all this down for Halloween soon anyway, so I might as well just take it down and do it now and get it over with. So I have this pretty little autumn sign that I got from Kirkland's years ago. I love it. I've never put it up here before. I've always put it on a different shelf in the house. But what I need to do first is raise it up just a little bit, because there's going to be quite the floral display underneath here very shortly. So I just need it a little higher. I just put some blocks of wood under there. And then next I'm going to bring in a couple candlesticks that I thrifted this year. And then I got those candles from Hobby Lobby the other day. I shared them with you in one of my vlogs. They really are pretty lit up. If you're going to come back for the home tour, you'll be able to see all the candles lit up. And I just want to say real quick, if you hear a lawnmower in the background, I am so sorry, but David is mowing the yard right behind this wall of this room that I'm in. I'm in the furthest room of the house trying to record this so I don't disturb anybody or have any background noises. And that happens to be the side of the house he's mowing on right now. So if you hear it, I am sorry. I do apologize. But so what I'm doing now is I'm just putting candles in my I'm putting batteries in my brand new candles, and they are so pretty. I can't wait for you to see them lit up. And again, I am going to take a photo of all the different floral pieces that I use, because you're getting ready to see a lot of separate florals. Most everything, if you can't find the exact same thing that I have, you can find something similar. For example, this piece here, I know you're not going to be able to replicate it exactly because I got it years ago from a store that's that you normally don't run across. But all it is a greenery stem. That's all it is. They have a whole aisle full of them at Hobby Lobby. If they don't have the color that you want, if you want to, you can spray paint it like orange and yellow and brown and make it the color that you want. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough of this stem that's more brown or orange color. So I had to mix in some of my green ones, which is the same stem, it's just different colors, but they look fine mixed in. I did like an orange and a green and an orange and a green, and we went with that. I thought originally that I was going to go all the way across, but once I started playing around a little bit, I realized that I kind of liked it in two separate sections. One little bundle of florals around the candles, and one little bundle of florals over on the left-hand side that you're going to see in a few minutes. We're going to add a little something to that. But this is a good base. It's perfect to start with, because when you start coming in with your other florals, stems, they're going to have something to grab onto, and you won't have to worry about it falling out quite as easily. So I picked up one of my biggest owls. This is one of the largest ones that I have, so I thought that would be the perfect one to put up there. I put it on a little riser, and that's where she's going to stay because she looks so cute up there. I love it. The next stem we're going to use is one that I simply got from the Dollar Tree. It's just a little eucalyptus stem. If you can't find one exactly like this one, you can certainly find one similar to it at Hobby Lobby. And I like these because they spray up and they give it more texture. I ended up using 4 of them, 2 on each side. The next stem is going to be the one that I shared with you a couple of days ago on the mantle. I call it the silver dollar. I don't know what you call it. They're like little medallions. You'll be able to see them a little closer in the picture that I include. But again, I used 4 of them. I tucked them from the bottom and I also bent them so they could kind of drape over the side of the shelf. The next thing I'm going to add is 4 of these. They're just yellowy leaves. I've been trying to get that yellow tint in every little vignette that I have, and these did the trick up here. I just simply tuck them in and magic just happened. So I don't know how you can argue that. They just look really good up there. And we're just doing the exact same thing over here on the left hand side. We're going to add those little silver dollar stems in there and then come in with our yellowy fall leaves. The next piece that I'm going to add is the piece that, if you watched my video the other day, I went all the way to Walmart to try to find it. It's kind of like a sedum type plant, I guess would be the best way to describe it. I did have to cut it up into these small little picks. I know that you can't really see them from where you are, but up close they really do add one little touch of texture, and because they look so realistic, they really do make a difference when you're looking at it up close, or at least they do on the fireplace that I did. I'm still a little far away from this little display when I'm standing down on the ground to be able to see them. So the further away you get, you can't really see them, so they're not really necessary is what I'm saying, but they're cute. I had a good time going to Walmart and looking at other things, so it was worth picking them up. And then the absolute last thing I'm going to add to this shelf are these little guys here. I don't know what you would call them. I'll try to come up with a name for them. They look like fingers to me. I don't know. They're just really cool. And I just wanted one in each corner. I used 4 of them and just wanted them to kind of crawl out of the bottom on each side. And they really are spectacular. They make a big difference. So I'm just touching a couple things up here, and I believe we are done with this glorious display. Okay, so this is it. This is the final look of my shelf above my couch. I absolutely love it. I've never done anything like this before up here. It's different, something different to look at, and that was my goal. I am gonna wait to light those candles. Well, not light them, but actually turn them on, because they have a timer, so they'll turn themselves on every night. And I want to wait just a little bit later when it starts to get just a little darker outside, so that I don't have to climb up there and turn them on when I come home from work, and they'll be ready to roll about dusk. So that's all done. We've got the living room pretty completed. We didn't really do anything over here, but we got the coffee table. We got this little shelf over here. Mantel we did in the last video. Cute little scarecrow guy over there we did in the last video. We did the shelf today, and then just threw a couple throw blankets and pillows out. And I did put that sign right there up. So I just wanted to say that if this is your style and this is the way you like to decorate your home for fall, then make sure you hit all the like and subscribe buttons and all the little notification bells, because we still have a lot more things to decorate in this house. Over here in the dining room on this table, we have all of that left to put out. I think in the next video, I'm going to do the tree. I'm going to do a little fall tree right here, and the hutch. I'm not sure if we'll have enough time to do much more than that, but we'll figure it out as we go. And of course, we've got the kitchen to decorate and the front porch to decorate. So we've got lots of things to do, and we've got lots of pumpkins to distribute. So make sure that you're here and don't miss a single video. All right, that is all that I have for you for today. I really appreciate you guys spending a few minutes of your day with me. I'm sorry if you hear the mower in the background, but that tall grass is calling his name, and he just had to mow it right this minute. So we're just gonna ignore that for now, but he's having a good time, so we're gonna let him mow the grass. I think what I'm gonna do is, it's 5 o'clock now, a little after 5. I'm gonna get supper ready, put on my pajamas, and maybe start decorating with no sound, and I'll come back and do a voiceover, just like I did with this shelf over here. That way I can get some stuff done tonight and get a head start on tomorrow, because I have a lot to decorate. But for now, I love you guys. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.